I'm Lizzie Arbogast, sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, here with managing editor Santana Wood. Yet another day of a lot of coronavirus updates to give you guys. First of all, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well.
Good.
How are you?
Good. We're sort of staying a little bit farther away from each other.
Yeah, we're trying.
With each and every day. So the big topic that we want to discuss today, and we're going to have a big story about this in the Outlook on Wednesday, is flattening the curve. You guys have all heard it. And it's not super clear necessarily what it is, so that's something that we wanted to discuss a little bit. So basically, what it is that typically there's been a lot of research done on previous outbreaks of big viruses, diseases, all those kinds of things. And typically, in the past, outbreaks have this big curve, right? So what you're seeing now on your screen is this big upward curve of your practices without proactive measures versus your blue with proactive measures. And that's ultimately what it's all about, is getting those proactive measures in so that we are flattening that curve. The big thing is that the healthcare systems around the world, in the United States for sure, are not prepared to help if we get into a situation where we're in the orange peak that you see on your screen. So the main idea is that if you use care, the less people that you come in contact with, the more likely that you're going to infect someone else.
Right, and that's why, we keep hearing this social distancing, and that's why it is so important to stay at least 6 feet away from another person. And the CDC and Alabama Department of Public Health have recommended no social gatherings of more than 10 or more.
Yeah.
And that is why that is so important, because the more people you're exposed to, the more people they've been exposed to, and whenever you put it all together, it's too much potential to continue to spread it.
Right. The Washington Post actually has some really kind of cool interactive visuals that they've set up that sort of can teach you a little bit about this, and they visualize what happens when you've got a wide room basically of 200 little dots that they have that are representing people. When one of them kind of bounces around, obviously he spreads to all these other little dots. Now, if there's a wall up, which is the quarantine wall, the proactive measure, so to speak, he bounces into less people, therefore less people get infected over a shorter period of time, thus flattening the curve, thus making sure that people who are infected, who are sick, get the help that they need, because that's what we want.
Right, exactly. And it really is truly easy to understand once you kind of get what it means and what a big impact it could make to just do something so simple as have this social distancing and limit your public contact as much as you possibly can. And even if you have to go to the grocery store and get supplies or something, which many of us are still having to do, you can distance yourself from those people in the store, stand farther back in the line or on the aisle, and really keep in mind how important that is to ultimately flatten this curve.
Right. And, again, to kind of reiterate what we said last night, you may be a carrier and you may not know it, or be around somebody who is a carrier who's not showing symptoms. So it's all about, just flattening that curve, and why not? A lot of people are saying, well, this is too extreme. And it might be too extreme, right? But if you have the ability to stay inside, to stay indoors, to stay only around your family, those kinds of things, why not?
Right. And I've always got a motto of it's better safe than sorry.
Yes.
And it is. So why not just go ahead and practice that? And speaking of people who are homebound and shut inside, there are a lot of those people in our community, elderly people who rely on organizations like Meals on Wheels to bring them a hot plate every day. And currently, that's something that we're going to have in our paper tomorrow, is Meals on Wheels is struggling to get some volunteers throughout this with them. A lot of their volunteers are a little bit older, and they've been calling out because they're concerned and trying to protect themselves. So I think that it would be really important for those healthy individuals who aren't at risk, who aren't in that risk group of have a chronic health condition or are in the elderly group to step up and volunteer while those normal volunteers can't.
Yeah. And if you're in one of those groups where you need some help, another story that we'll be running in our paper tomorrow is the Lake Martin Dadeville Area Chamber of Commerce is looking to find those people that are in need, whether they're elderly and can't go to the grocery store, whatever kind of errands they can run and things like that. And we love this picture that we have up on the screen now of our officials meeting while practicing social distancing. So I think it's important that if you have a need, reach out. They can't guarantee that they can help you, but they're certainly going to try, and they're there.
Definitely, and we're really proud that they are getting together. It takes some really great people in our community to get together like this and try to figure out how to help. And that's what we love about our Lake Martin community. We say that all the time. There's always people who are willing to get together, band together whenever there's an issue in town and figure out how to fix it. And this is no different.
Yeah, absolutely. On the sports side, I did wear my Life is Better with football t-shirt. I thought that was appropriate. But one of the things that I'll be looking into in tomorrow's paper is getting creative. At this point, there's no allowed team practices are not allowed, but there are things that you can do at home. I even had one coach suggest you can try to bench press your bed. So if that's what you want to do, just make sure you wash your hands after you do it. But get creative in not just sports, but in the things that you're able to do at home. When you're trying to educate your kids, all those things. We can find ways to be creative.
Definitely, and there's always something you can do at home. Whether it's watching some TV, but there's a lot more things that you can do, such as getting that exercise in, even if you aren't a student athlete or someone who regularly works out. Maybe it's the time to start.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that that's something that we need to be thinking about instead of thinking negatively that, we're kind of limited to staying home and trying not to spread it and flatten that curve. Let's figure out how to make the most of being at home.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of businesses that are obviously starting to either modify their hours, making some changes. Just want to touch on a couple of those. We're going to run that in our paper for the time being, as well as it'll be online, constantly updated. Tallapoosa County Jail visitations have been suspended until April 20th. The library in Alex City has been closed until further notice. Several events have been canceled, so look at that list. And if you know of one that's on that list that we might not have, please contact us and let us know.
Yeah, I know Carlisle's has also limited their hours to be 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And there will continue to be some businesses who are changing their hours or services. So continue to look for us to be posting those. And if you hear of something, let us know.
So obviously we do want to get to the most updated numbers released from the CDC. They're doing 2 updates a day, so we'll have those most updated numbers as soon as they are released. And as of 3:30 p.m., there were 39 confirmed cases in Alabama, still none in Tallapoosa County.
Correct. We've still got 0 in Tallapoosa County. We do have some in our neighboring counties. We've got 2 in Elmore County,
3 in Lee County, and the number for Shelby County actually went up to 4 today. So, if you can, again, limit your travel to some of those, areas, that's definitely something that you would want to do for sure. Another big thing that we're committed to doing, obviously, is giving you guys these updated numbers from a trusted source, and want to talk about some rumors that I've seen kind of monitoring social media. I've seen this sort of like Governor Ivey is closing these counties. The people are quarantined in these counties, and again, let's work on that fear factor. Keep it down. She has made some strict restrictions, which is all available in her statement on the governor's website, but it's not a complete shutdown.
Right. It's not. And that's, again, how easily a legitimate statement from a legit news source can get misconstrued and changed into something that's not accurate. Right now, she is for Jefferson and the surrounding counties, which include Tuscaloosa, Walker, Blount, St. Clair, and Shelby counties. She is recommending against gatherings of 25 people or more where a 6-foot distance cannot be maintained. And additionally on that, she is recommending any restaurant, bar, or brewery or Category 3 food service establishment shall not permit premises consumption of food or drink for 1 week on the premises. And this is going to be reevaluated at the end of that 1 week. But again, that is not her shutting down all the counties.
Right. They're not under quarantine. I think it's just very important when you're on social media, think about what you're posting, think about what you're sharing. You know, we've all played that library, or what is it, telephone game. You know, when you're little and the first person says one thing and then by the 10th person,
Yes.
it's not the same thing anymore. So just be very careful about what you're posting. Another thing that was kind of discussed back and forth on our Facebook page was that the Tallapoosa County tests, the reason that there's 0 confirmed cases in Tallapoosa County is because the tests are being sent to Tennessee. That's not necessarily true.
Right. We have not, we don't know that as fact. Russell Medical has said that they are sending it out of state to a third party test facility. But we don't know that it's in Tennessee. That is not fact.
And it's also not fact that just because they're out of state doesn't mean they're going to come back confirmed or negative. So again, we
Correct.
want to make sure that you guys know that we're not going to give you something that's false until we absolutely have it confirmed. And on that note, it's Sunshine Week, which is not maybe what you guys would think Sunshine Week is, but Sunshine Week sort of celebrates journalists a little bit and celebrates the access to public information. It's especially important during this time that newspapers are allowed to do what we need to do to keep you guys informed and to keep you guys safe as we can.
Right. The public does have the right to all this knowledge, and things like public records and open meetings and all these things are so important, and that's why us journalists are here. We're out covering the meetings. We're out checking these numbers. We're out producing all this news for you, and it's not ever not highly vetted and
Yes.
verified information. And that's what's so important about it. And we want to remind you guys that we're your source for that, and we are absolutely verifying everything with Russell Medical, the CDC, the Alabama Department of Public Health. Nothing that we put your way will not be verified by those trusted sources.
Yeah, absolutely. And as journalists, you know, we feel like that's our responsibility to make sure that whatever we put out is 100% fact. And again, that's not to say that, you know, maybe those tests will come back positive. We don't know that. But until we know that for sure, we're not going to say that. And we also really highly encourage people on our Facebook page to, respond with us, comment with us, interact with us, because we want to be able to debunk any potential rumors out there.
Right, and if you do hear a rumor, hey, send it our way. And
Yeah.
through a message. Let's not put a rumor on a comment just because we don't want people to read that and assume it as fact. But if you hear a rumor, send us a message and we will verify it for you and figure out what are the facts involved with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we just want to continue to be your trusted source of reliable information. We are, as well as we have opened up our website. Our paywall is no longer up as of right now. We've also started a COVID-19 page where you can get all of that information. And starting tonight, we'll have a newsletter as well. So that will be sent to all of our email signups. If you want to join in on that, please sign up. That'll have this video as well as some news stories. That should be out at 8 o'clock every single night for the foreseeable future. So please stick with us on that note as well.
And we're going to continue to keep bringing you this information every day through our paper, multiple updates on our website throughout the day. If anything new happens, we're putting it up right away as soon as it is verified and we have looked into all the information, and we will put all of that up. So continue to check that website and that COVID-19 page every day throughout the day. Continue to see us here at 7 o'clock every night. And we will be happy to bring you the news on this.
Yeah, absolutely. We're also looking into expanding. Obviously, TPI expands much further than just Alexander City and Tallapoosa County. We want to expand our coverage and the updates that we're able to bring you guys into Elmore County. Again, we want to do it effectively and efficiently and correctly. So look out for some of those updates in the coming days. But we'll still be here.
Yep, and we appreciate you guys tuning in and watching us and trusting us as your local news source. And we will continue to bring you everything that we can as soon as we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Make sure you're getting enough rest. All those good things. We appreciate your viewership and your readership. I'm Lizzie Arbogast alongside Santana Woods, and we will see y'all tomorrow night.